You know that old saying, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired? Well, what happens if you have high blood pressure and you're just sick and tired of constantly worrying about your blood pressure and trying to get that blood pressure to the normal number of 119/79? It's exhausting, man. And so let's talk about that. Let's get you some advice that maybe will help you. The first thing is, are you doing everything possible? And if the true answer is you're not, then the question really is, what are you willing to do to get that number to normal? And for a lot of people, it takes too much work. It just honestly takes too much work. So you got to be honest with yourself and say, if you're not going to exercise every day and you're not going to take supplements and you're not going to do breathing exercises and you're not going to change your diet, then what's worrying going to do? It's not. So one of the most freeing things in life is to not worry. There's so many things to worry about, of course, and that perpetuates problems, particularly blood pressure. But what if there was a way to just stop worrying? Now, you've also heard of the 80-20 rule. And what that means is 20% of the things that you do will give you 80% results. I use this a lot. I explain this a lot, to patients when I'm seeing them in the room. And there's a lot of reasons I do that, because not everyone wants to give 100% effort. But I tell them, if we figure out the 20% that'll get you 80% of the way there, then maybe we can do that. It's just like stretching. Instead of telling people to do an hour and a half of yoga every day, what if I can give them 3 stretches that would give them 80% of the feeling that they would get from a yoga class? That'd be awesome, right? Well, let me give you some 20%ers when it comes to blood pressure. Number 1, deep breathing exercises. If you're not doing this, why not? Just do it, man. It's so easy. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Now, sure, it sounds like I'm always selling you to do these, but why don't you do them? It's twice a day. If you really are on maintenance, you do it once a day, but you spend 5 minutes just relaxing, taking deep breaths in. If you can do it, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. That's the easiest for most people. Take as deep of a breath as you possibly can and just inhale and expand your lungs. Don't worry about the belly breathing versus the chest breathing. Just take a super deep breath in and then let the air out. If you're a little nutty, hum. It'll work. It always seems to work. What's interesting is if you are affected by stress in a negative way, then this deep breathing exercise will probably lower your systolic number, which is that first number. Now, the second thing is exercise. Now, if you don't like exercise, I understand, but unfortunately, our bodies are made to have activity. And when we don't do it, we're going to pay a price. So what's the 20%? Walking. Just going for nice strolls. Now, I know there's probably ways to optimize this with going at a certain speed where you're walking 5 miles per hour, or you're walking with a certain stride, or all these things. But if you just get out there every day and walk, whether it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, it doesn't matter. But you got to build the habit of doing it every single day. Just by going out and walking is that 20% will give you 80% of the results. When you start to change things and start to walk at a faster pace with a little bit more clip in your step, and you start to exercise more, you can get that extra 20%. The third, and potentially the most important, is the diet. And I know it's controversial, but should you do a carnivore diet? Should you do a keto? Should you go vegan, vegetarian? Is fiber good for you? These people say fiber is not necessary, and they lied to us. And these people are saying that fiber is good for it. It's so bloody confusing. And aren't you sick and tired of the diet wars? I laugh because I'm cashing in on it, but It's not rocket science. You know what's unhealthy and you know what's not unhealthy. You don't need to watch any more YouTube videos about it. It's so bloody simple. You just eat healthy and you'll probably get partially the way there. Now, there are some people, and I have patients like this, that they should not be eating vegetables. They should not be eating fruits. It tears them up inside. They may have a medical condition where they need to temporarily stop eating certain foods. There's patients with food allergies. There's lots of reasons that every diet does exist because it does help someone. But you have to experiment and see what works best for you. But ultimately, a 20% change in your diet can lead to tremendous benefits. There's numerous supplements that you can take, and I've mentioned them lots of times on my channel. Supplements can make a big difference in controlling your blood pressure. This is the one I'm going to talk about right now. It's called Nitric Oxide Flow by Nature's Pure Blend. It's wonderful. It has L-citrulline and L-arginine in it, and these are things that are necessary to produce more nitric oxide, to widen the blood vessels, make it easier for you to have a more natural blood pressure. These are all very simple things. I'll put a link down below in the description if you want to look at it. Read the reviews. It's amazing how many people have lowered their blood pressure. Now, it sounds to me like I'm trying to sell you on breathing and exercise and taking supplements, changing your diet. Well, yes, that's what I'm trying to sell you on. That's what I'm trying to convince people to do. And it will help you. But you don't have to make that big of changes, because when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired and you just get confused, all you have to do is just get started. If you'd like my complete guide to lowering blood pressure, watch this video right here.